Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Monday, January 6th, 2025. Those light things, this may be the beginning of snow, but we're heading in for the Giuliani case. We covered it Friday in depth, 7 hours, almost 3 hours of cross-examination of Rudy Giuliani on the stand. We published a book over the weekend. It's called Rudy Giuliani, From Prosecutor to Defendant in the SDNY, and we'll be covering today's proceedings. Giuliani's been allowed to appear virtually, but his lawyers will be in court. And there'll be a trial starting next week, January 13th, about the Florida homestead and the Yankee rings. So we're all over that one. But check it out. It's also an audiobook, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, on the Diddy front, there's been a number of filings, all of which we covered. In one of the civil cases against him, the judge said that the criminal case is so complicated that everything is pretty much stayed in the civil case until July. The criminal case is set to end in May. So if that gets pushed back, the other case will get pushed back. That's that one. Now, in the criminal case, his lawyers have said that the raid and seizure of legal pads, or pads marked legal, or pads that were just legal pads, with written it right at the top, legal pad, should maybe get the case dismissed. The judge has asked for, Judge Subramanian has asked for a number of filings by January 17th, and we'll be covering them. It's a bold gambit. Basically, their fight at this point is to try to get a hearing about the raid and how it was that this official was there on site grabbing the legal pads, and how much should be excluded. In another sex trafficking case, the Alexanders, they're down in Florida, but they're basically going to have a combined three-brother bail appeal before Judge Caproni this week, and we're going to be covering it, that's for sure. So, and at the end of the week, unless it gets somehow stayed by appeal, the sentencing of Donald J. Trump in the New York criminal case. Judge Merchan has already telegraphed he's not giving any jail time, but he said that he wants to get it done before the inauguration to reassert the rule of law. We'll be covering it one way or another, including all the twists and turns of the appellate process. Trump, I believe, is going to be trying to get it to not take place. He's allowed to come virtually, but presumably it will be in 100 Center Street, and we'll be there, and there'll be a whole hoopla about it. Now, the UN, we're getting close to January 20th, so we're going to see whether this regime of censorship and corruption, I don't think corruption will be cleaned up anytime soon, but censorship is pretty easy to stop. The idea that the UN can unilaterally decide to ban, block, even rough up once in and then ban once out any kind of investigative or critical media, while allowing in not only state media of dictators, but people that don't write any stories at all, that just go to cocktail parties with Antonio Guterres. Hopefully that'll be on. I don't know if it was on the ballot, but hopefully it's going to be on the agenda. And so we're going to be covering, though, until then. Algeria is the current president of the Security Council. They had said that their big actual issue to their own people inside the country, Western Sahara, would be their focus, but so far they've done nothing. In fact, it's not even on their agenda. So we've asked them why. They haven't answered. They're following Antonio Guterres in corruption and sleaze, and we'll just have to see. So we're going to be reporting on it all, but hopefully get this up before the Giuliani hearing begins. To be continued, Inner City Press.